Good morning. I'm so happy I saw a baby sloth yesterday. We were all standing really far back, and unfortunately the mum seemed to disrupt a bee's nest on the way down, but she seemed to be okay after that. So anyway, back to today. Good morning, good morning. I'm out without the doggies this morning. They appeared to be having a lie-in. And I waited for a bit, and then I need to get out, otherwise I won't get a walk in before I start my work. So I decided to come without them. And it made me think about the burnt toast theory. I've never actually heard this burnt toast thing firsthand. But the whole concept is that when there's a delay, it's for a reason. So if you're 10 minutes later leaving the house, then the things that you see and encounter and the people you cross paths with are wildly different than if you'd left 10 minutes earlier. And if I'm with the dogs, the interactions that I have with people are wildly different. So I believe that for some reason today, the universe has wanted me to come out on my own without the doggies and a little bit later than normal. And I have no idea if I will ever know what that reason is. But anyway, that's what I think. And then I think about this whole concept of time, and it's just crazy. And I heard this thing the other day: can you describe time without using the word time? And I don't think it's possible. And the whole circadian rhythm thing, I mean, in the UK it's almost impossible, because in the summer the daylight hours are so long and in the winter so short, so you would never sleep and never get up in the summer and the winter. And here, because it's close to the equator, you can go to sleep at dusk and get up at sunrise, and I love that. But you can't do that in every country. And in Ethiopia, they actually set the clock by sunrise, so when you get up, that's 0 o'clock in the morning, not 6 a.m. It's 0 a.m. because that's the start of the day, which makes sense. And then the calendar, I've talked about this before, and I heard someone else speaking about it, and it's just something that I'm projecting, that I never thought about before. That there are 28 days in a moon cycle, I know I've said this before, and 28 days in a menstrual cycle. So we, by design, run on a 28-day cycle. And if there were 28 days in a month, there would be 13 months in the year. 28 times 13 is 364. But there aren't. There are 12 months of varying lengths of time, named after Roman gods or Roman emperors, one of the two. And the number of days in the month relates to how powerful this Roman deity, being, whatever, was. And it just makes no sense, because we're not in sync with the moon, and we're designed to be in sync with the moon. I believe. This is just my perception of everything. Can you explain time without using the word time? And have a little think about the calendar and how ridiculous it is. It's just crazy. Ethiopia didn't adopt the Gregorian calendar, and they're, I think, 7 years behind the Gregorian. And they have 13 months in the year. Not of equal length days. I think they have 12 months of 30 days and 1 month of less, 5. So it's slightly different, but the Mayans had 13 months in their calendar. And 13 weirdly is seen as an unlucky number. And I know when I worked in a hospital, a lot of the time there wasn't a bed 13 on critical care units. But what we believe becomes our reality. And why is 13 unlucky? It's crazy. Some of the stuff I get, it's unlucky because, it's risk aversion. Like walking under a ladder is bad luck because someone might drop something on your head, but that's not luck, that's risk aversion. If there's somebody up a ladder with a bucket, then yeah, don't walk under it. But yeah, it's all a bit crazy. And then I keep getting pulled back to this scene in the Truman Show. He's on an island, and he's basically has this fear-based existence, which is what a lot of us do for a lot of our lives. And again, I'm projecting. Living in fear, trapped in the system. And Truman was like this. He was scared of water, and he lived on an island, so he couldn't leave by boat. And then when he decided to leave by car, they set fire to the bridge. So he faced that fear to get to the truth on the other side. And I just keep thinking of that analogy. Whatever it is, whatever your fear is, you can get past it. And on the other side of fear, you're free. There's so many things still that come up for me, and I don't have fear in the way that I used to, but there's still areas of my life where I'm cautious. And I think one of them is in love. And I was talking to a friend the other day. I listened to Robert, I can't remember what his name is, Robert Edward something. And he said, if your soul's journey is to learn unconditional love, then you meet repeatedly conditional love so that you can truly understand what unconditional love is. And I feel that so much. I've had so many instances in my life of love given to me conditionally. If I behave a certain way, if I pay for everything, all this kind of stuff. And my life lesson is to learn how to love without conditions, and then I will receive that love back. And that's where I'm kind of at the moment, and I've done that with a lot of relationships. I've kind of forgiven and let go, and I just want love in my life now. And there's a couple that I'm still struggling with, just because I don't understand, I think. I'm finding forgiveness. I'm just being completely honest. Like it's fucking hard sometimes to let go when somebody's done something that you feel hurt by. And I'm allowing myself to feel hurt by this person's actions. But I find it hard to love somebody unconditionally when they've done something that feels really mean. But I'm working on it. It's a process. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to be an understanding, loving, kind, generous person. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to understand myself and do better. And that's all I can say. I've got loads of little ants on me. The problem with sitting on a tree, I think ants, they're hormigas in Spanish. I think it's one of the first Spanish words that I learned was hormigas. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling and make the most of this opportunity without the doggies to have a nice little swim in the ocean because it's so beautiful. It really hit home when my dad died last year that we never really own anything, because all the stuff that was his, whose is it now? It's just stuff. And at the end of our lives, the only thing that we have to give is love. And I feel like now I used to have a job with a decent income and I could pay for all sorts of things, and now I don't. And now I very much feel that the only thing that I have really of value to give to people is my love and my time and my energy. And it's amazing how different relationships change when you're in a different situation. The only thing I have to give now is love, and I want to. I want to share my love with the world. And on that note, I am planning on hosting a retreat here in Costa Rica next year, in February actually. Got a few things in the planning, maybe something later in the year as a collaboration. But initially, I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, and I'm the only thing holding myself back. So many reasons. And I realise it's fear that's holding me back. Fear of failure, fear of success, but I don't care if other people see me fail. It's more, I don't even know what it is really. Anyway, so I'm doing it. It's going to be February next year. I'm just working out the dates. And yeah, so I've created a Facebook group. I will put a link underneath if anyone may be interested in joining a retreat. It will be around yoga, but lots of other amazing things around here too, the national parks, the ocean. The community in Bribri, which is one of the largest indigenous communities in Costa Rica, and cacao. So yeah, I've got loads of ideas. I don't want to share them all, but it won't just be yoga, it will be yoga and Costa Rica. Most of the thing in Costa Rica for me is the beautiful nature. So one of the rules here, just waffling on now, but one of the laws here is that you can't build within 50 meters of the high tide line. So that land is not owned by anybody. You're not allowed to own it. So most of the beaches have no buildings. The buildings are set back because there's also the distance between 50 meters and 200 meters where it's super, super restricted. And then after 200 meters from the high tide line, it's less so. But it's incredible because it means the beaches are like this. And here there's rock pools. The tide's out at the moment, but there are rock pools here. And you can see lots of fishies, and there's just nature everywhere, and I just love it. You can spend most of your day walking without shoes. And that's a win in life, I think. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I'm going to stop waffling.